Yeah, it's like I think a lot of the filmmaking decisions. I'm in like a really a broody, moody mood right now. It's a turtleneck. Yeah, I'm like getting in. It's like, why am I feeling this way? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, there's something to me about the way that cinema largely, and I say this respectfully and also generally, because there are artists that are doing the craziest things outside of the commercial space. In the commercial space, like I haven't even seen it all, but there's something about kind of industrial cinema that just like squishes down meaning to its minimalist point, where it just gives you entertainment and makes you feel a little bit smart by understanding something in a film, and then you get this really quality experience. You're entertained and you're just like, man, what a film! That was crazy. What a narrative! Like, what visuals! But and it's like, and it's escapist, and we need escapism because the world is crazy. But to me, in relationship to people of color, in relationship to the camera, and in relationship to cinema, I'm interested in complexity, and I'm interested in depth, and I'm interested in learning about myself and other people and the visual field and the world, while also engaging in what cinema can do, this wild sensory thing. And so the archive is a space that is just replete with meaning that we mine daily in the academy and news, like in many different ways. It's a place where we attempted to have the Nickel Boys narrative, the Dozer School narrative, be engaged in the larger cultural conversations that are going on. Not just the conversation about Black trauma, not just the conversation about, what happened in Florida to these boys. Like, the way that these boys, the way that people of color around the world have been looked at by dominant gaze in the world is the reason why the boys were able to be treated that way. Is the reason why in that community there was as Anjanou says so succinctly, a conspiracy of silence. So within that idea, it's like, how can we employ the archive and its meaning that's untapped, that is really utilitarian, given the context that a lot of these images were made? How can we rescue people from being trapped, from the end of their visual life publicly, being trapped in this archive, rescue them from there, and have them be part of a larger cultural conversation? How can we imply the production of Blackness through cinema by showing you the range in which people of color have been engaged with over the course of history with the camera, from Defiant Ones, from government footage, from news footage, from the Black Family Archive, which Bell Hooks says is the only site for resistance amongst the other gays. And then you see the way that Jomo and I shot this film. Like, how many Black people do you know were giving imagination space in a Pulitzer Prize-winning book over the history of cinema? I know one, maybe Barry Jenkins, maybe. I'm not sure if Underground Railroad got a Pulitzer, but like, it's not something that happens, right? But we think about images, we care about these things, and like, there's a genuine fundamental poetry that we're always trying to show the world. Like, this is literally how we see the world. Like, we photograph each other at all times like we're brothers, Like, we like to say, what if the history of using the camera, you're only photographing people like they're your family? Like, the images would just look different, because you don't want images of your mom in a certain way being out in the world, because that's not your mom, like the way this person's going to interpret it. So the archive was a space for us to put that in contrast. Like, Jomo and I, we got to do our thing. They gave us space to do our thing and look at the way that we've been produced otherwise, and that makes for us the most contemporary archive as Nickel Boys.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today.
Sorry, Nick.
I'm sorry, Nick.
What he said.
Exactly. Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you all so much for joining us, and congratulations on this incredible time.